This is Weird Renegade Witches blog. Hit us up when you want some real motherfucking work done. Of course, go to the Weird Renegade website, and you already know you could click on to old and previous shows of Blogtalkradio, give you a little bit of energy. However, you already know Wayward is about that revenge, redemption, responsibility, that spell work, and that occultism, because art is occultism. Occultism is an art. And of course, this is August 1st, and I want to keep you posted in reference to monthly lessons. Um, when they're going to start up. However, separate from what I do and with individuals that's working one-on-one. And of course, that incorporates work, meaning incorporating at times will do work and one-on-ones. And that's, again, separate. This is something that I may do with individuals every single day, on the hour, whatever it is, which is separate from monthly lessons. Okay? That's what it is. And here I'm back again because there's been a lot going on with some frequencies, but hopefully this video will be short and to the point. But I wanted to address some frequencies that I seen and that I found very interesting in the comments of what I call pettiness. And like I said in the previous, there's something going on where there's this frequency that's trying to pull back in time. And I noticed that a lot of videos that I did around 2018, 2019, just older 4 to 5 years, are uprooting itself. And of course, I have new people looking at them or whatever is going on, or examining them or trying to create their shit, or who knows. However, like I said, there's something going on, and they're trying to force and pull one into the past of frequencies, because a lot of the older stuff that I've talked about is actually manifesting, and you've seen it now from Kamala Harris to the Indians, Chinese, all type of stuff. Okay, so let's go about some frequencies that I seen. Huey Garvey, he wrote Laguna far from cheap. So we not talking about the average Hispanics. Well, I can see right here, you misunderstood my whole synopsis of what I'm talking about, because we already understand that Laguna Beach has that ooh-wee money. You know, the ones that people be talking about, eat the rich money. Yeah, we already understand that. So let me make it clear to you. Dear black person, when I'm talking about dear white people and their sundown behavior and them trying to kind of like insinuate something. So let me break it down to you. What the white folks, aka mayor, but aka white folks of Laguna Beach, are saying, take your Anaheim, Santa Ana, Dodger motherfucking hootin' Los Angeles ass back where you came from, because you don't belong here, because this is for the ooh-wee money. Does that make sense what the fuck I'm talking about? Because you're fucking up our beaches. That's what I was saying. I'm not talking about no Hispanics that live over there in Laguna Beach. I'm talking about what the mayor is insinuating. Okay? The same thing happens over there in that good Huntington Beach, where they don't want certain nationalities there. Okay? And the same energy is in Irvine. Okay? Okay. You know, some of y'all ESL out here. The other ESL is when some people misunderstood when I said my Libras. What I'm saying to you is this. In the zodiac and astrology world, the Libra is the left-hand side. The Cancer is the right-hand side. Me and Libra have to see each other eye to eye because we are the gatekeepers of the house. I'm not a Libra. I'm acknowledging my Libras. So let's get that straight because I see some of you guys need them IEPs. Okay. Mama Saluka comment. It's crazy how your content has changed from 2018 from Afro Satanism to pro-religion. I guess change is good. Check this out. I don't know who's playing these little games here. I don't know what a pro-religion is. What I will say is this: I never talked about what Afro-Satanism is, and let's not talk about also urban voodooism. I've mentioned and said that Black people should practice Afro-Satanism, and they should also understand what is urban voodooism. What I did throw out there is that, oh, I'm a Satanist. So that's what I said. So what it seems to me, this is again trying to pull in old energy. I would never speak in mixed company what the fuck Afro-Satanism is, and I would never speak in mixed company what the fuck urban voodooism is, because I know people like you sit and watch and want to understand the context of what that is. I don't know if you are a friend or a foe. I don't know what the fuck you are. You may be trying to figure out, well, what is this religion? So we can go and sabotage it, so we can drain it out. I would never, ever tell you or anybody else who's undeserving what the fuck Afro-Satanism is. So then this type of energy, this is called fire and air language, because fire and air language, this is what you call projecting an energy. See right here where he says pro-religion. So therefore this person put a subculture on me that I never claimed. No, you are a pro-religion. I am an occultist. And at times, I could be an Afro-Satanist. I can be an urban voodooist. You create what you want it to be. I'm not going to sit up and reveal the rituals and energies and frequencies that go into Afro-Satanism. I'm not going to sit up and explain what the hell urban voodooism is. I would never do that because I don't know what's out there in the universe. What happens is that people like yourself that goes pull back and then try to recreate something because you really want to know what it is, the same energy as trying to ask for syllabus and documents and stuff like that, because you guys want to recreate a group because you guys have nothing else to pull from. That's all it is. So I wanted to address that. Anyway, let me go back to the gatekeeper of Cancer and Libra. That's why I said I'm not tripping off of the Last Supper. That's bullshit. The Last Supper is nothing but astrology. Okay? So Libra, Cancer. I hope that's straight. And it does have a connection to the Last Supper. But let me have another Cancer moment. Going back to that person asking about Afro-Satanism is just another person trying to look for content, trying to look for energies, trying to recreate something and, copy your shit or try to understand it, right? It's on the same lines as a lot of people, I guess, who create content on social media, your Instagram, your Facebook, or whatever, even YouTube, are getting fed the fuck up, especially with these, what we call fallen stars who have now hit Earth and now they're walking into civilian territory, or how people, I guess, who create content on YouTube and they're doing their content, and then next thing you know, you have this entertainer slash celebrity slash famous person or whatever they want to be come in, steal their content, and then YouTube is hyping them up, and of course in the algorithms. I've been noticing this shit too. I said, who are all all these people? What the fuck is all of this? So then what happens is that they don't get paid. They talking about it even on that good TikTok, how that shit is happening. This like is very odd to see some entertainers on fucking TikTok. Some of them on there almost 24 hours. Shit, talk about that Soldier Boy. His ass is always on there. I'm like, what the fuck y'all doing on here? Take your ass back up into the fucking sky and create your maritime laws, okay? You heard about the shit with Miss Elliott. Apparently, her music has been released in the Universal Soul. Well, that's stranger danger. That fucks up people's spell work. If you up there playing her music through a fucking satellite, and we don't even know who in the fuck that person is that they call Miss Elliott. So we need to stop playing. But it's on the same lines as people complaining about Jaguar Wright stealing my content and shit like that. I don't know what it is, what it ain't. You know, and I said, what y'all talking about? And then one day I seen something in her comments about Sidney Poitier. And I said, wait a minute. And I remember I talked about that about a year or so ago, because a spiritual constituent had gave me some information in reference to Sidney Poitier and Harry Belafonte and all the rest of them, how they get down with the get down. And I said, where did that come from? I said, that's just something somebody don't pull out the asshole. And then I had another spiritual constituents who was talking about that Jaguar Wright. I don't have nothing against her. I guess she's a Taurus, but of course she's going to be in my path. Just like I'm in her path, meaning in the zodiac, what we call the CIA zodiac astrology world. So it's not surprising that we're walking, kind of past each other. So it's what it is, what it ain't. But it's good to point it out because, a spiritual constituent was like, how in the fuck is she getting all this information? And I said, well, they're feeding it to her. It's industry energy just feeding her content. But at some point it gets played out because it's the same shit over and over, over and over. So that's just where it is. So we have to kind of be careful out here when we have different things and different frequencies going on with us, okay? Because I reject pro-religion. I didn't say that. That's what you said. You went back to old shit and want to know about it. You want me to go backwards in it because you want to know what it is. Sometimes you get shit like that kind of egging you on because they want to figure out, what does this person do? How do they do it? How do I combat? Is what it is. Let your imagination go. If you're an occultist, do what you do. Anyway. Have y'all been looking at that Olympics, aka Olympia? I went back and I was looking at the cauldron when the two French people, black people, went and lit up the cauldron. And I said, God damn, I said, that's Genesis. And I said, okay, so they didn't went to the black moon, and it's an illusion because you'd be like, oh my gosh, they're lighting the sun. So I said, okay, so they didn't went to Genesis, but then went back to the sixth seal. But what is very interesting with the Genesis, and if you didn't peep game, they are reinventing and they're how can I say, they're going back to the original people. See, white people are very interesting and very funny. And the reason why they're very interesting and very funny, because they're letting you know the first energies in the universal soul were the black woman and the black man. And then they went back and lit the cauldron. Because you understand the cauldron is usually, I guess, and cauldron, is used, I guess the original energies is usually fuel. However, this year it was some kind of electric whatever with water and something, and I guess France is trying to be eco-friendly. However, let me go back. So when I was like, okay, they're mixing Genesis with Revelations. Okay, so I found that very interesting. Now, in some cases, nowadays in science, they teach us that the sun came before the moon. But you have to understand, within the word in Genesis, they give us 3 different planets off the bat. So they give us the darker moon, they give us the sun, and then they give us the other sun. The other sun look just like the cauldron. It goes from light to dark. Okay, it's kind of like this. It's the reverse, because you understand the blue part of the heat is supposed to be the hottest point, and you get into the yellow part that is the coolest point of the flame, right? That's what we call it. So they gave you different frequencies. It's almost like the dawn is what we call the dawn of the dead. So that type of cauldron and how they lit it is what we call the dawn of the dead, which is in Revelations. So they gave us variations of the moon, from the moon, the sun, into what we call the dawn of the dead, which is Revelations. Whatever they practice, but this is how I understand it to be. Okay. Then they had a black woman, a black man to with the torch lighted. Okay, they're telling us who was the beginning. The bottom line is that we have to understand they are forcing rituals. They're forcing seals. This is not real. So when you understand your CERN and your harp, that's what they're really trying to do. They're trying to shake the earth. They're trying to force the seal opening. You can't force seals to be open when they're not ready to be open. And that is why you have to have discernment and understanding. Bottom line, point blank. So as we progress and we're really looking at the entity Olympia, we better understand what the fuck is going on. This is street. I don't know if it's in Beverly Hills or if it's in Hollywood. I think it's in Beverly Hills. I might be wrong. If somebody's from Southern California, especially Los Angeles, please correct me. And it's this street over there, and I think it's called Olympia. Or is it called Olympic? Because I know they have Olympic in Los Angeles, right? But I think the street is called Olympia. Whatever this is, again, is either it's over there in Beverly Hills or it's in Hollywood. That street is dark as a motherfucker. I mean, it's like you could tell all type of cloak worked and walked up and down that fucking street, right? So we have to understand kind of what's going on. And yeah, it looked like this current eco flame is electronic flame, cloud of water and vapors. Okay, which I found that very interesting. So the bottom line is that we have to kind of understand how they're playing this game. And again, in science now, they have reversed basically what I call the lineup. In reality, the moon was first. Okay, the moon lit the night skies and it lit the day skies. And understand, when you look at the moon, it never leaves the universe. But however, what's very interesting, we think is one moon. We think we're looking at one moon. No, you're looking at quite a few moons, and you don't know which one may even drop or move or basically be in position. Okay, so for example, when they talk about the alleged water signs as being connected to moons, what are you talking about? There are many moons, and there's 3 different moons, strong moons, and then there's the galaxy moons. See, we can't pay attention, of course, to what they tell us it is. We have to pay attention to what we know it is, okay? Because we have to understand they're up there fucking around, and maritime laws are going to get cut up. And my concern, when they sat up and said that Miss Elliott music is in the universal soul, I said, no, she's up there in them goddamn planets. We don't know where in the fuck she is. But again, we have to understand these frequencies, right? Okay. Then I'm like, what is this energy with fucking Snoop Dogg? And I was quite disturbed when I seen him at the gymnastics. He's been fucking everywhere. I say, he is a fucking distraction. Could you go put this slash scale slash Aries somewhere. Could you stop trying to make the Baphomet head, the damn Taurus, fight the damn Aries? I mean, goddamn, well, what the fuck is going on? This masculine energy. Then you had, I told you, the one with the green, that was the one was with Ariana Grande. Then the spiritual constituent said, well, you know, bulls also wear, of course, earrings or nose rings. I said, oh yeah, I forgot about that. But I've seen horses too. So, because when I was looking at her frequency, where she got on, I said, that looked like a horse. And then I looked at her again. I said, I could see the bull, but then the dang outfit looked like a horse. How it was hippie. Well, whatever. It's all rituals, right? And so when I went back and I was peeping Snoop Dogg, I said, God damn. Then I was like, why is he at the gymnastics things? Then it made me think about what happened with his daughter, right? So anyway, I said, why is he at this gymnastics shit, right? Like, he is a straight distraction. What is this? Ghetto Olympics? I'm trying to understand. Hood Olympics? Help me out here. Then you have Simone Biles acting hood and unprofessional like a motherfucker. I don't know what's up with these black sportsmen people. They need an image consultant. So need to hit a wayward for that one. So then I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, right? So then I really started to I started to go back in time. Mary Lou Retton, gymnast, back in the day, she came up and apparently she's sickly. And I said, are they pulling energies from her? Because Mary Lou Retton was pretty healthy, always been pretty healthy. And we would see her a lot in the media at one time. And then she disappeared. And then she's so sickly and talking about she has a rare disease. What the fuck? When shit like that is happening, that's called, that I'm going to keep it layman so you understand. That's somebody pulling. That's like a necromancy. And I'm like, what's going on here? Then I went back to Nadia, the gymnast from back in the day, Nadia. And I remember her in the fucking Olympics. And at one time in gymnastics, Russia was the motherfucker in freaking gymnastics, especially during the Olympics and on. And I remember Nadia, it was like, she was like a big fucking deal. And it was like, oh my gosh. And then we found out later that her coaching shit was very interesting with her. Because, you know, a lot of them coaches are very interesting. So anyway, I said, Nadia, but she didn't, but Mary Lou. So I was looking at the frequency and I said, well, shit, in the world of in the world of the Last Supper, Nadia November, Mary Lou, I think January, I guess she's what would be a Aquarius, and then you have Simone Biles, of course, is a Pisces. Oh, they just all pulling from each other. It's just a fucking fucking gumbo pot. Then at the same time, we don't even know what type of energies these people are. We don't know what type of frequencies that's embedded in them, what's underneath them, and all of that. So I'm just saying this is very interesting. And again, I'll be glad when this whole thing is over because I'm about tired of seeing Snoop Dogg. Again, he's a distraction. Another energy that's very interesting that I'm curious about, again, is the living quarters. What in the refugee camp, FEMA camp, is going on? Of course, you already know they have them sleeping on wooden boxes. However, in their rooms, there's insects. There's no air conditioning. In addition to, they have them riding around on bikes, and then all of a sudden you seeing African people doing rituals in the streets of France. And then what's up with all of them fucking police officers from different countries, especially from the United States? I will admit some of them police women will fuck you up. But I'm like, what the hell is that ritual? What the fuck is going on? Are they telling us we're going into a police state? Are we bringing in that energy? Because I've never seen that before. I've never seen that during the Olympics. So I think there's a lot of energies coming in because they still trying to be under that entity of Olympia. So I'm just figuring, I said, okay, they telling us we're going to be in a police state. Okay, that's almost like what they were showing over there in New York, how the army was up there helping to recruit immigrants. You seen all these immigrants at the door, and the man went and recorded and said, "What are y'all doing?" And then the guy got a little spooked. He was in his military and his army fatigues, and he and I guess it was at the recruiting center, and you see all of these dang immigrants, and they were they, you could clearly see they didn't know English, and I'm like, oh shit. I mean, we understand that, I guess, to become they call it a nationalist, but it's really called citizenship, the military. So we got some shit popping off. That's also a disloyalty too, in a way. That's, you got to be careful with some shit, right? I was looking at that Sha'Carri Richardson, and I was finding some things very interesting. I went back and I said, I like her, but something so unprofessional. And I guess the coats and stuff, I guess the Ralph Lauren design, American, they're the American coats, their jackets, their suit jackets. Anyway, Sha'Carri had on a buttoned up top, but her button up top was open down to her chest, and she was flinging her hair. I said, what in the prostitution is going on here with these black females and these black athletes? You know, I've been on Angel Reese. What the fuck are they doing? Why are they sexualizing black female athletes? And people were asking in the comments, what the fuck is going on? I said, this is a fucked up sex energy, and it is connected. Nothing African, nothing black nationalist. This is some Indian ass shit. This is some smutty ass shit. Something is just mounted. It is not cool, right? So I'm like, why is she, what's going on? That's so unprofessional. So anyway, she's good as fuck, I can admit that, but something in my soul, I went back to Flojo's to the cemetery, and I went back to Flojo's cemetery plot, and I was looking at the headstone. I said, there's something about this headstone that's very much different. So the last time we were there was, I don't know if it was 2021 or 22, right? So, and we were talking about how her headstone is faded, and then you seen, I don't know if it was like a leopard or something energy that uprooted. Well, I don't know if they didn't look at that video, because they went right ahead and changed that fucking headstone real quick. And when I was looking at the variations and the energies of it, they didn't change the energy of the writing. And I said, who would do some shit like that? And I seen that her husband is married to a white woman and moved on, but there's something up with this Flojo energy. So, of course, I believe in ancestral frequencies. And so her old one was more elaborate. It was more her. It was more frequency, right? And the funny thing is, and it, like this one says, Florence Dolores Joyner. Then it says Flojo, right? And it's funny, Florence Dolores with a Z. Very interesting. How anyway, and it had her husband's last name, right? Then was very interesting. It says, and I can't read it because now it's shadowy, but it says, I love you, mommy. We miss you so much. husband and daughter and family and friends, right? Then it says, sleep, my love, until we are together again. That is very powerful, right? Then all of a sudden, this new one is very interesting, but it seemed more modernized. It still has her last name, and they changed it from beloved wife and mother at the top, which is a lighter frequency from, of course, what the original energy was. And then here they quoted Joshua 1.9. Okay? And meaning scripture 1 verse 9. And they changed the writing. And then it says, you will never be forgotten by family, friends, your world of fans. May you, I think it says rest in heaven always. God will be with you wherever you go. Who's using her energy? Is she even in there? Didn't you? Joshua 9. What the fuck is going on? Joshua 9. Have not I commanded thee, be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. This scripture, are they saying when she was like, this is what she read? No, because it wasn't on the first headstone, right? But they changed the headstone. And then her hair is very conservative. Like they changed the image of her. See, some of you people be dick riding Shakari. I don't got time because she's an Aries. And I'm more interested in the immolation. Just like I was talking about Mary Lou Retton and Simone Biles. I still see what I see. I still know what I know. And I looked and I'm looking and I'm comparing. And these modern day people act like you can't say shit. No, I'm going to say shit. What the fuck is going on here? The wording, the air. She died at 38. Of a seizure? Because I remember they were saying she had heart issues, but seizures? It's kind of like Tina Marie. Like we didn't know Tina Marie had seizures. And she just died in her sleep. We just asking questions, right? Right? We just, you know, have some energies, right? Okay. Kamala Harris and that rally. Some people believe she was pandering to a certain age group. I had no clue Quavo was there. I guess her power twin, right? Meaning, I believe he's an Aries. My question is, as Black people, why are we sitting here letting something devour us, project, how can I say, project an energy that's a stereotype? They have created Black people without class, and we are uncouth. You don't understand that there are people around the world that's looking at this and like, what the fuck is going on with your people? Why you even have Africans like, what? Everybody around the world is what? You got white women in Florida saying they ain't voting for no nigga woman. Well, guess what? She's not black. And some people like, well, don't associate. I don't give a fuck. She says she's not black. I don't know who that woman is. And that's not the same one that was in the Bay Area. That's not even the same one that was with Montel Williams. Megan Thee Stallion got on stage doing Bangladesh dancing. When you look closely, that was not Megan Thee Stallion. This is above y'all pay grade. That looked like a whole man. The body and the way it was moving was like a man. Some of you are so ignorant, you will sit up and say she's been hitting the gym. That is a man, and it is not Megan Thee Stallion. Then there was another energy where Megan Thee Stallion was in some room with the American flag throwing, and some of you be like, oh, she's throwing the devil sign, she's throwing the 666 signs. No, she was not. That man was up there pulling a black box in CNC Music Factory. This is still above your grades. Black box was all men. That group that group Black Box that was men. CNC Music Factory, men. I don't know if this the ballroom scene. I don't know if these are Asian men. I don't know if these are Indian. I'm gonna keep it real with you. There's something else. Another culture now you know I talk about every goddamn body. I don't believe some of this is Chinese people. Chinese, Asians, whatever, they like their money. They will pander to you. They want black people educated so they can take your money. They want you uneducated so they can take your money. Chinese people are nothing but a marketing concept. Just like who's going to Vegas? Nelly. They about their money. They not about taking money. They not about no fucking, like, we're just going to stereotype you. They want their money. This is a stone cold ritual. I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to say that Jewish people, Jews as you want to call them, and Indians are in it together. Because this is appalling. And there's not enough outrage. Where's the outrage? This is disgusting. That type of behavior doesn't only look bad on black women, it looks bad on black people, period, around the world. It is absolutely disgusting. And then some spiritual constituents, a gay male, pointed something out to me. He said, a natural woman just wouldn't be doing some shit like that. That's something a gay man would do, who don't give a fuck. Why are we out here playing with these people and afraid to say, I don't think that's them? We understand now that there's so much prosthetics and practical shit going on with makeup. And I was looking at the person that they allegedly was saying was Megan Thee Stallion dancing up in that room with the flag with all the men. Because I was looking out, I said, these are all men. Those are not women. And then when I looked closely, I said, this is a mask. So then the spiritual constituents kept pointing out factors. And then he talked to some people, of course, in Atlanta, and their energy and saying that she's pandering to a certain group of people, which is supposed to be the younger crowd. I said, no, 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 no. They basically, she's pandering to ghetto bougie. Okay? And that is a subculture. She's pandering to ghetto bougie. And this whole campaign has been under ghetto bougie. And the behavior that she is pushing out and projecting is Sambo. Okay? It is Sambo, and it is like a nicklet. And it is embarrassing, and is disgusting, and is very civil rights movement. She's acting very civil rights. She's acting like the behavior of civil rights. She's pulling in that energy of the civil rights movement, and that's just what it is. I don't even want to say that's Kamala. I don't want to say that's Kamala Harris, because even though she's a motherfucker, I just don't, because it's just like a whole costume, and it's a cold game, and it's a cold piece of spell work. That is some cold piece of pig magic they pulling. And they're using all these rituals to do it. We're not tired of them trying to sacrifice us. We're not tired of them trying to embarrass us. We are not tired of them trying to project this controlled programming of us. Are you telling me we so broke back mountain with money, with self-esteem, with activism and culture, that we have nothing to us anymore to speak? We're gonna sit up and let these ghetto bougie speak for us? Are we gonna really sit up here and believe that she's pandering to the youth when most youth don't even like her? They have sense? Meaning, I'm talking about Megan Thee Stallion and this Kamala Harris. My question also is, why are her policies now uprooting her crime policies? And they are nothing nice. Why are now, from 4 years ago, energies coming up talking about how innocent people went to jail, her weed laws? One of my spiritual constituents said no, they wanted me to also state that whole truancy was about money. And I said, oh yeah, because when the truant officer called me and I called the school and they were up there saying that they liked my son and all that shit, what I forgot what was also said was that they get money for each head. I forgot that. So the truancy was also about a money grab for the school system. Okay? Let me say that. What the fuck is going on? People are talking about that she was up there faking a southern southeast. I said she acting like the white folks that get around black people. Then you guys want to compare to the whole Trump and Sexy Red. I said, but Sexy Red didn't do that. Then, oh, Hillary Clinton and the hot sauce. No, this is trifling. This is trifling. And we're not going to sit around and fuck around with the trifling behavior. We have to understand the spell work. And I'm so curious to why more black people are not talking about the behavior. I'm a little bit curious to why more women, especially black women, are not peeping a lot of these energies that they're putting out, and you thinking it's these entertainers and so on, and it's not. It's men in costume. Why aren't women peeping? The ballroom scene has taken over the industry. Now, I don't know where they were before. Like I said, they've always been around. They've always been in the mix. That's why I brought up Black Box and CNC Music Factory, but we wasn't tripping. But now it's more than ever that literally they are putting them in costume. And the way she was dancing, I was like, is this Bangladesh, meaning Indian dancing, or is this Indonesian? Which one is it? Just like I was forced to go see that movie Deadpool. And I said, what the fuck? I was up in there mad as a motherfucker. And my kids were cracking up at me. I said, why y'all looking at all this inappropriate ass stuff? Meaning it was so homosexual. I'm going to say homosexual. I was like, are you telling me we can't be funny without being perverted? Meaning, what is all of this innuendo? It was just like so overboard. And I'm like, and Wesley Snipes was in that movie. I said, what the fuck? What's that? What's but in the movie, we so used to them doing 666 signs and whatever signs. They don't do that anymore. What you see now are Indian bus or Indonesian or Chinese. You see little idols. And what they'll do is you'll be looking at the movie and the camera will ease over to something that's idled. But it's the Eastern Indian or Asian culture. Then it'll ease back. I said, oh, so this is the new symbolism. In Deadpool, it was hella Indians in it. And sheiks. This is what they're doing. This is who's financing everything. That's why even you'll see it in Nollywood, in those Nigerian movies. You be sitting up there watching a Nigerian movie, the next thing you know, here's a symbolism. Most of the time it's Chinese. And in Basketball Wives, it's the same thing. Also, you be sitting there watching it, and it'll ease over into a figurine that's Asian. Meaning, I'm putting it all under the umbrella. The Chester cat, yoga, all of that. We got to start watching these symbols and how they pulling in energy. So therefore, if I go back to what I was talking about with Kamala Harris and that Megan Thee Stallion, or that man that was pretending, and then remember, you see Megan Thee Stallion, I guess practicing and doing the choreography for it, and I think it was an Asian woman teaching her. More and more we're seeing now it's noticeable. It's been going on. They've been doing it in concerts, the whole dancing, the color schemes, and so on. Now they're bringing it into gospel. They're bringing it into church. That now you seeing fucking gospel singers intertwining not only Orishas but the Indian culture. In music, in tone, in movements. I said, oh, that's not what that is. That's not what that is. So that's why if I go back to the top of this video, and that person was trying to project pro-religion, Afro-Satanism. No, what you're trying to do is have me categorize what the fuck I do and what the fuck I practice. And you're trying to play a projecting game. Pro-religion, this and that. None of your fucking business. Because that doesn't make sense. Pro-religion. If you're saying pro-religion, then I am for all religions. I'm talking about various religions, which means I am an occultist under the spirit. This shit is becoming crazy, and it's in our faces. We don't know what to do because we're not noticing it. And we have to watch this particular religion because it is a very rude religion, and it is pushing a negative frequency within the Black culture and our people as Black people. And there's so much money behind it. Okay, this is how they see us. And then what they're doing is hiring their people to dance. And like I said, I don't know if it's a Chinese man, I don't know if it's an Indian man, I don't know what it is, but I know that's not Megan Thee Stallion. And I know those dancers did not appear to be women. And all I know, they was up there, she was up there saying something. And when she was on that stage with Kamala Harris, none of that shit made sense. And then when she was in that room, none of that made sense. Now y'all can sit around and play these games all you want. Oh, let me say something else that was in my comments. Somebody was in their feelings, and apparently I'm a crazy goofy ass, because I said that men are not the prize, and the person in the comments decided to say that women's vaginas are busted. We got to be careful of that type of energy, because that seems like a gay male to me, a gay feminine male who have issues with women. And that is the energy that's now being brought over into women. They're pushing us so they can become us. You know, a spiritual constituent said something very interesting to me. She said, because Black men have it hard in this universal soul, they opted out of being a man and decided to be us. As I talked about basketball wives, and we are in the month of August in Leo season, we're going to understand that there's going to be a whole lot more shit going on, right? So I would like to talk about Jackie for a moment. And I've noticed she reappeared. I've been invested in looking at basketball wives because I am so tripped out about the way they look. They tripping me out. Like I'm like, what the fuck? Like Jennifer was pretty. Evelyn was pretty. Brooke always was whatever. What the fuck went on with Brandy? I'm still tripping, right? What's wrong with Brandy? Brandy had some kind of sense. She was a different, now she's different. And I told you, Jennifer is larger. So is Evelyn. Like, in weight. Something's weird, right? So anyway, Jackie then came back. That I don't know who that lady is, but she with the shit. Her whole family was about to fight Brooke, but Brooke being, I think Brooke is a Cancer, she was gonna fight every fucking body at that goddamn place in her damn Poochie. Now I don't know why she was gonna fight up in that Poochie poncho. That shit costs too much money to be trying to fight in that Poochie poncho. Have them Black people up in there tearing up that poncho she had on. Shit, that poncho, what is that poncho $1,200? 15? Because she had on the Poochie stretch pants. And I think those are what, 7? You know, they was at that women's empowerment. Anyway, there's something going, that Jackie don't look like them. Jackie didn't look, I said, she must not be part of this plastic surgery shit. And that's why they add her. Something's odd. But what, so she was there with the one who cut up over there. I don't know if that thing was on Crenshaw. I don't know where that shit was. And I'm not being rude. All I know was some shit jumping off. Anyway, they talking. The issue allegedly is that Jackie said something about Brooke's daughter. I don't know what it is. But if you guys remember, I said when Brooke's daughter passed, I said, that show gonna be about Brooke. And lo and behold, they waited a season over. I'm right. When I seen Jackie react to Brooke on the reunion show, and Brooke was being, da 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 da, I said something's up with this, and Jackie knows something on the outside, and she ain't fucking with it. It's like Jackie was detaching herself from it. And I said, that is Leo. We got to understand Leo movements. When they ain't fucking with something, they trying to get away from it. Cancers walk into it. Leos walk away from it. And Brooke, being a Cancer, was trying to make that Leo be part of something that she didn't want to be in. And whatever it is, I knew Brooke then did something. She knows something, and she not trying to be part of it. I may be doing too much, but I told you guys then when I seen that reunion. And now Brooke is the person. She's the lead on the show. And I said, whatever she did, and Jackie said she did, she did. It is made. We have to understand. Leos can be interesting sometime. And they can say some stuff that you don't want to take them seriously, but you gotta read around the bullshit and kind of read in between the lines, right? So when I understood that, just a moment, I said, okay. Then when Jackie said Evelyn practiced bestiality, and she gave the times. She was being funny when she said the dog had the limp. I said, Jackie not lying. She not lying on that Sagittarius. She made it into a comedy skit, but she's not lying. Because she went for bestiality, and is not far-fetched. And there's been some interesting frequencies going on that they've been talking about with Miss Evelyn. So I think this Basketball Wives is very interesting in rituals, from the Asian culture to Brooke's daughter's death, to the bestiality, to their features, to the plastic surgeries, to the fillers, to the way Brandy is acting, to the way Jackie seems she's out of it and they're trying to attack her. It's almost as if Jackie don't want nothing to do with this shit. I said, oh, she's done with this show. Sometimes things are subliminal. A spiritual constituent brought to my attention Queen Latifah and Moni Love, right? And I said, I didn't have no clue that Moni Love and Queen Latifah were beefing with each other back in the day. I had no clue that both of them had diss records. And I listened to both. Queen Latifah was not that fucking good in rapping. Moni Love was better than her. What the fuck was going on? I had no clue that Moni Love was supposed to play Sinclair on Living Single. And when I was listening to Queen Latifah's diss at Moni Love, I said, that's just like a Pisces. See, people, you guys don't know. You guys just look at water energy, but you don't know that Cancers and Pisces are each other's nemesis. Technically, we don't like each other. And people don't want to admit that. See, because some of y'all are common out here. And it's not the fact that Cancer just don't like Pisces. It's the fact that Pisces put themselves in a hierarchy and they can be insulting. And then when you hear Queen Latifah added with Moni Love, you kind of get it. And then, of course, you have your Scorpio. And then Cancer have to watch Scorpio. Because Cancer talks with Scorpio, but Scorpio will go with the Pisces at times. It's very interesting energies as we talk about. And we're not talking about the rising and the sun. I'm just talking elemental. But in reality, remember I said that Cancer was not considered water. Aquarius was in its place. And then they moved the Pisces into the third house. And then the Scorpio used to rule the house. And then it used to be Scorpio, Aquarius, and Pisces. Scorpio used to be first house. Second house used to be Aquarius. And third house used to be Pisces. Then it got switched up again. So that's why they're pushing this. Like I seen something with Lizzo. Lizzo, you're not a Taurus. You're really an Aries. Of course, Lizzo is not only an Aries. She's a Gemini. She's a Cancer. She's a Leo, and she's a Virgo. You see how all that can go? Because of the frequencies of seasons and more, and is more how it has nothing to really do with the planets. It's how the energies move from spring into summer. And you like Virgo? Virgo, yes, summer. We just being a little layman. They are summer children. It's not fall, there's summer. Even the Leo can move into third house. So it varies, it moves in energies, right? So when I was looking at, dang, Queen Latifah and Moni Love not getting along, but then my friend who's a Virgo met Queen Latifah back in the day on her show, and she said Queen Latifah was very interesting. Then I've heard very down-to-earth things about Queen Latifah. But then I'm like, dang, they bounce off of each other, but really Moni Love did give her that frequency. But then when you hear the energies, I'm like, dang, that's fucked up. And I didn't even know all that time they were beefing. And they were throwing shots at each other. No clue. But very interesting energies. Moni Love Dis was more of an energy of ritual equals spirit. Queen Latifah Dis was practical ritual, which trumped Moni Love's energy because the practical is what pushed her out and locked her out the industry. The practical ritual, where Moni Love, again, went ritual spirit. So we have to understand these things within the universal soul. Anyway, I just want to come back with some of the updated frequencies that we had in this world of witchcraft, and bewitchery, right? Anyway, this is Weird Renegade Witches Blog. It is up when you want some real motherfucking work done.